Ubisoft has been focused on following corporate DEI trends for years at this point, and nothing they do could surprise us. But now that Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer has been unveiled, we know that they're throwing away historical accuracy in order to feature a black protagonist. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, of course, I do not really trust Ubisoft like many people. At this point, they're constantly trying to sell us games that are not worth the price tag. They're saying their games are quadruple A now, and of course Assassin's Creed is a franchise that most of us have loved at some point. They have made some really great games, but the Ubisoft that we knew of the past is gone, and now they're so focused on corporate DEI trends that we're getting products like this that have been infuriating people, because we now know the Assassin's Creed Shadows game confirms a feudal Japan set title, but it is also going to be featuring a black protagonist. Now, of course, right off the bat, you may be questioning, who are they thinking this is based off of? And while there was a man, Yasuke, who I'm sure he is going to be loosely based on, if not that person himself, they, I think, have gotten their wires twisted quite a bit, because he was never a full-blown samurai from what we know. And keep in mind, Assassin's Creed has always been big on historical accuracy and following the lives of real people. And of course, if we look at the main characters in Assassin's Creed, you see a clear theme. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was an Italian theme. You had an Italian character. Assassin's Creed Chronicle was China, India, Russia. Characters from China, India, and Russia. Valhalla was a Viking setting, so you had a hero from Scandinavia. Mirage was Middle Eastern themed, so you had an Arabic character, and now we have Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a Japanese theme, so one would assume you'd have Japanese characters, but that's not happening here. That is why people are so upset over this. This Bounding into Comics article recaps it pretty well. First, Yasuke did not make landfall in Japan as a result of a raid on a slave ship, and rather he was brought there by a missionary whose service he had found himself under prior to his trip to the East Asian nation. And second, and despite pop culture's obsession with pushing the idea, there exists no concrete evidence that Yasuke was ever considered an actual samurai, nor that he was chosen to serve under Nobunaga due to his supposed skills. And of course, there are a lot of other things pointing to him not really being a full-blown samurai. It would have been fine to add him as a side character within this, or a character loosely based on him, but making him the main playable assassin with no definitive proof he was a samurai just shows they googled first black samurai and went with the stories they read instead of doing lots of research. There was plenty pointing to him not being one, instead more so a retainer, because he was exiled instead of killed alongside Oda Nobunaga. He wasn't given a fief. I mean, the list goes on, but instead Ubisoft decided, we're just gonna throw him in there because why the heck not? And we also know that there is going to be a female playable character, a female ninja, Neo, who people are also pretty I wouldn't necessarily say unhappy with, more so just questioning why they decided to kind of go in this direction. I personally do not mind having a male and playable female character. I think that's perfectly fine. And again, it is a video game, so I expect them to not be fully historically accurate, but at the same time, when you are making, very definitive claims like this, when they could have went in 50 other story directions, it's not going to sit well with people. There have been exactly 0 Japanese assassins so far in Assassin's Creed until this game, and there have been, however, Black, Native American, Middle Eastern, and lots of white assassins, and I just feel like this is so disrespectful because it is a game set in feudal Japan, you should have primarily Japanese characters, especially lead characters. And it is not racist to say that we deserved better here, that both the first Japanese protagonists should be Japanese. If they set a future Assassin's Creed in Zimbabwe or Kenya, I think the protagonist or protagonists of that game should be black. That will always be my opinion. And instead of simply, going in the direction they should have, that most people would agree was the correct one, they decided to go in this direction, and it is getting completely and utterly annihilated by people. In one day, the trailer is #1 on trending, and it's got 4.6 million views, but the likes to dislikes, it's not going super well for Ubisoft because it's sitting at 216,000 likes. And these are people that are clearly trying to counter the dislikes, but it's not really working because it's sitting at 311,000 dislikes, 52,000 comments so far. And all of the top comments are people saying, I'm not going to support this. This really isn't what you should have done. I don't like this. Most people don't like this. The most heroic thing about this trailer is that they left the comments open. I'm sure that they're going to close them sometime soon. I do not think that they are going to leave these open. And there's so many people here who are voicing how unhappy they are and how disappointed they are because people were really looking forward to this game. I have to agree. While I personally think that Assassin's Creed has kind of fallen off and they haven't done the best job with the past couple of games, and I wish that they'd really go back to their roots, and that's what Mirage was supposed to be, and I think it did that for the most part. It's clear that they are not looking to follow that and follow the consumer feedback that was pretty positive surrounding Mirage. I think at this point they just need to create a new franchise and they could do whatever the heck they wanted in that franchise, but we do know that Assassin's Creed has been very big on historical figures in the past, really trying to, aim for historical accuracy, and that it just really isn't happening here. They come from the same river. Greed totally describes Ubisoft. Asking for pre-orders without gameplay is wild, and yeah, there are a lot of companies within the industry who feel like they are so established and they are going to have people lining up to buy their games that they don't even care about showing you gameplay. They simply care about you seeing something and hoping you're going to swipe your credit card. Ubisoft told me to be comfortable not owning their games. I'm going to be very comfortable not buying this. Sweet Baby Inc. So one time there was this black guy in Japan. Ubisoft, do it! Now, of course, we don't know that there's any affiliation with like Sweet Baby Inc. or a narrative consultation company on this game, but I don't really think it would surprise anybody at this point if down the line we find that out. Remember, this is Ubisoft, no pre-orders. Rest in peace, Assassin's Creed. Guys, remember, never pre-order a game, and more specifically, a Ubisoft one. Yeah, Ubisoft has definitely proven they do not deserve any of our trust, especially after the whole situation surrounding Star Wars Outlaws, which I do think is going to be a massive, massive failure for them. And of course, I will be keeping my eye on Assassin's Creed Shadows and seeing what everybody else says and if any other information releases, but as you can see, the likes and dislikes are not going super well for Ubisoft. This trailer is already getting ratioed and people are generally not very happy. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.